Tonight in CVM News at 7, the desecration of innocence. 9-year-old murdered at home. Health Department targets vermin in St. James. Agriculture Ministry embarks on new initiative. Jamaica Auto Show 2025 drives change with electric vehicles. And in sports, the Jamaica Premier League playoffs. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Saturday, May 10, 2025. I'm Carolyn Brown. Thanks so much for joining us for what will be an abbreviated half-hour broadcast to allow for our live coverage of the CASAFO Championships at 8:30. We begin with news of a major investigation underway into the murder of a 9-year-old girl at home in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Friday. The body of the minor of a Joe Blaine address was discovered at about 8 in the evening. And based on the appearance of her body, it appears as if she was beaten. Detectives assigned to the Criminal Investigations Branch, CIB, immediately began probing the matter. A person of interest who has been identified is being urged to report to the Spanish Town Police immediately. Head of the CIB Assistant Commissioner of Police ACP Wayne Josephs says the police will leave no stones unturned in the investigations, noting this brutal assault has sent shockwaves throughout the force. And the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, describes the killing as an outrage, asserting the tragedy compels all good citizens to confront deep-seated issues within society that allow such barbarity to occur. And the CEO of the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, Laurette Adams Thomas, in condemning the heinous act committed against the 9-year-old, says it's not only the loss of a child, but the desecration of innocence, and is assuring support for the family.
This deeply disturbing incident is a chilling reminder of some of the horrific dangers that some of our children face every day. It pains my heart to think that a young girl full of potential and promise could be taken from this world in such a cruel and inhumane way. This was not just the loss of a child. This was the desecration of innocence, and it shakes us to the very core. This family is now fractured by grief and trauma. The surviving children will have to grow up without their sister and with the haunting memory of what they have lost. We at the CPFSA, we will do everything in our power to support them. We all must ask ourselves, what more can we do to protect our children? We are calling on every citizen, every neighbor, every family member to remain vigilant. If something feels off, if you suspect a child is being abused, do not remain silent. Our children are depending on us. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Call our 24-hour hotline, the 211, and make a report, because you might just save a life.
And CVM News can tell you that the Ministry of National Security has put forward a $2 million reward for persons who can assist in this heinous crime. Meanwhile, the St. James Health Department is expected to ramp up activities in the parish to ensure a clean bill of health in various communities. The plan of action was detailed during a sitting of the St. James Municipal Corporation, about which Marjorie Gordon reports.
An urgent appeal is being made by the St. James Health Department for residents to work with the entity to stem the breeding of mosquitoes and rodents in the parish. At a recent sitting of the St. James Municipal Corporation, it was reported that actions are being taken to address these concerns. Chief Public Health Inspector for the parish, Sharika Lewis, says more focus needs to be given to rodent control. She says there has been an increase in the population in recent times, with numerous calls from residents.
The main commercial districts within the township, the city of Montego Bay, we are seeing a proliferation in rodents. 25% of food establishments that we checked during the month of April have shown evidence of rodents.
She says a rodent control program is to begin in the city, focusing on the Charles Gordon Market and extend to Sam Sharp Square. As it relates to the breeding of mosquitoes, the public health chief says fogging has started in several communities and institutions and will continue next week. And with the hurricane season fast approaching, councillors in the parish are being called on to play their part.
I am also calling on the councillors to join with the health department in spreading the message of mosquito control, particularly search and destroy, source reduction. I will also be inviting the councillors to a training session so that you can be properly equipped with the basic knowledge and skills that are needed to assist us in spreading the message of the importance of mosquito control.
The Public Health Department has also embarked on an inspection of schools and infirmaries in the parish.
Thanks, Marjorie. Now, gas is out and green is in. At least that was the message echoing through the 2025 Jamaica Auto Show, where Jamaica's biggest names in mobility gathered to showcase a future charged with possibilities. CVM's Shanaki Rankin was also there.
It was electrons over emissions at the National Arena and Indoor Sports Center, with industry leaders rolling out their vision for a cleaner, greener transport future. From sturdy SUVs to sleek sedans, ATL Automotive showed off its expanding BYD lineup, with Kingston sales manager Courtney Smith betting big on electric mobility in the Caribbean.
The BYD brand is a new energy brand, so that is full EVs and hybrids, plug-in hybrids actually. So it gives you the option of driving on electricity, and people want to shift from the cost of servicing petrol engines and buying gas. And EVs are 60% cheaper to charge, and it's way cheaper to service. For what you're getting, it should cost more, but we want to bring something new to the market, something that everyone can afford. So being that they are electric vehicles, just like your phone, you have the benefit of getting updates. So if you bought a car in 2023, you can come back in 2025 and get so many updates it feels like a brand new car. A lot of the ICE vehicles or petrol vehicles don't have that option. So whatever you bought in 23, unfortunately, you're stuck with that. BYD constantly updates the cars based on what the public are saying. So you have something new each day that you're driving. It drives smooth, it's cheaper, it's more affordable to own. So the BYD lifestyle is a lifestyle that you would enjoy.
And with the vehicles ready, the infrastructure is now racing to keep up.
The infrastructure here in Jamaica is constantly increasing. Evergo and JPS is doing a great job by adding more public chargers, but BYD Jamaica gives you a home charger. So if it is that you live in a townhouse or wherever, we can install the charger at home so you can be fully charged before you leave, and the car itself shows you your charging locations, and you can also download the apps from BYD or JPS and it shows you your charging location, so you can plot your route as you go along.
Also stepping in the driver's seat of this electric revolution is the Jamaica Public Service Company, flipping the switch on its biggest EV charging expansion yet. Director of Business Development Dion Nugent spoke with us about the company's Charge and Go network, a growing grid of fast charging stations from Kingston to Mabay and beyond.
We have 39 charging points across the island now and expanding fast. We are here to support you and your charging experience. We believe that we offer the most reliable, the most accessible, and the most affordable option for EV charging. Our Start Charge campaign is saying, listen to me, get on board. We want you to understand it. We are offering you support, and we're saying not just you, the driver, but the fleet operators, the commercial property owners. We want you to have EV charging facilities at your property, and we are there to support you. We are doing our part to make a more sustainable tomorrow.
Shanake Rankin, CVM News.
The Agriculture Ministry, through the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, has embarked on an initiative to transform the country's agricultural landscape. The data-driven initiative, RADA Connect, will ensure Jamaica's food security.
Bringing resources together and using those resources to improve production and productivity is the purpose of RADA Connect. The program, according to Agriculture Minister Floyd Green, aligns with the ministry's 4 strategic priorities: food security, agribusiness development, climate-smart technology, and export expansion.
If we're going to get food security, we have to know our farmers, we have to engage them, we have to have them using better practices, we have to teach them agribusiness, and the RADA Connect gives that opportunity to do this sort of training so that they treat agriculture as a business. Also, climate-smart technologies. We have our plant division on the road showing our farmers how to utilize things like probes to get their pH of their soil. Those things are critical as our climate has changed and farmers have to make better decisions.
And so the Agriculture Ministry and RADA are optimistic about the use of data to predict future agricultural trends.
If we're able to predict future agricultural trends, if we're able to combat some aspect of climate change, if we're able to totally see and understand what every farmer is doing out there, or 90% of the farmers are doing out there in terms of fertilizer application, chemical application, pesticide application, herbicide application, land tillage, we will be in a better position to, I'm using positioning to position Jamaica agricultural development in the way we think it ought to go.
For the Agriculture Ministry, RADA Connect will transform, engage, and ensure farmers produce more so Jamaica becomes a more food-secure nation.
At the core of it is about taking RADA and its services on the road, bringing all the technical teams into farming communities, having farmers who maybe before now were not registered be able to sign up, have them download our mobile app to use the technology to be able to connect with RADA more consistently, have a RADA to connect with them. We believe the very first step has to be a very strong connection between RADA and the farmer, because RADA is that agency that provides extension services, that agency that the farmers turn to for marketing support. So RADA is at the heart of our agricultural transformation. So this RADA Connect program is critical for that.
The RADA CEO gives an example of how the program will work.
A farmer here in St. Elizabeth is planting tomatoes. The minute that tomato move from seed house to field, we capture that data, or even before, from even sowing the seeds, we capture the data. Our application below to calculate the growing cycle to straight up to harvesting, and we would then in a position, because of this data, to tell our hoteliers or restaurants through our marketing arm Alex, where customers can get their tomato supply.
To a top international story now, India and Pakistan have both agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. We get more from the BBC.
Knew before this that the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio had spoken to the Chief of the Army here, General Asim Munir, and then later on in the day had spoken to the Foreign Minister of Pakistan as well as the Foreign Minister of India. And what he had offered both of them was America's help in starting what he called both constructive and productive talks. And so now, as everyone was wondering how this could end, Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has made this announcement on Twitter that there has been a full and immediate ceasefire that has been agreed between India and Pakistan. But I do need to flag that there still hasn't been an official statement from either government. And so this is only...
Join us for sports up next.
This Mother's Day, it's Romaine, Virgo and Friends live Sunday, May 11 at Palm Drive, Hope Gardens, featuring Tori Latour, Janelle Mills,